from our break, we're going into the reviews and recaps section of our podcast now.
Yes.
And we're so excited. Let's start off with Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel season finale. It
Ooh.
happened today.
Ooh.
Well, for us, but for those listening, it happened on Wednesday. What do you
Spoilers.
think? Yeah,
Spoilers
spoilers ahead
ahead. If you guys,
of
I mean,
everything.
shit. Hold on. If you guys haven't seen Miss Marvel, and we're posting this on Friday, I don't know what you guys were doing this whole week because it came out Wednesday. It's Friday, dude. It's like catch up. Come on. But spoilers ahead
Sometimes
for.
no, sometimes I have to take some time. I can't just sometimes like, oh, I gotta watch this right then and there.
No,
But
no,
yeah.
I do. I have no life, bro. But let's get into it because spoilers ahead. Definitely gonna be a lot of spoilers. Miss Marvel season finale. I know you asked me what do I think about it. I think from all the episodes that we had so far of Miss Marvel, this has to be one of the best ones yet. It had a lot of action. Um, what I liked about this, I don't know, the whole thing about just Kamala. What I like about her is like everybody was like, oh, but she doesn't know how to use. Like she's learning how to use her powers, and we seeing that through every episode. She's she's like one of us learning how to use. Let's say I wake up tomorrow and I learn how to fly. I'm not gonna learn how to fly to New Jersey because I don't even know what New Jersey is if I'm
Yeah.
flying. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I
so
get you.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get you. And me, I was kind of on. I'm kind of on and off with the show sometimes because the show is great. I love the the cultural influence of the show. Like I love everything that we're learning about like Pakistani culture and learning more about that historical side and that mythical side, which is pretty cool. But sometimes, the show for me isn't always the best. It's, the best show sometimes for me just because I don't like I just don't like how her powers turned from her being inhuman and being able to stretch and being able to change her body shape, but to her having this light manifesting like solid light power. I get it, it's cool, but it just for me it doesn't it has never really won me over with that. What I
Mm.
do like about the show is the cultural and the historical aspect. I loved that in episode 5, Kamala went back in time and saw her great grandma, who is bad as hell.
Yes.
Bad as hell. I need to start watching more Bollywood stuff because I need to see more of her. But I really like that. I really liked the character development of Kamala, and I like the family vibes too with Kamala. I love the brother. He's hilarious.
I love the brother.
You know, I'm glad now, this last episode we see her finally sharing that she is the light girl that they
Yeah.
see, and I love the family's reaction that they were like, I love the family's reaction, not making it a big deal. I love all that stuff about the show. The her powers never really won me over.
Yeah, it's and with the whole family thing, I don't know, for some reason it reminds me of our family, the way our family is. Like, if you come out with superpowers or I come out with superpowers, we tell our family's gonna act the same way. It's like, man, we knew you were gonna get powers someday, and they're gonna just keep on going with their lives like nothing happened. And I loved seeing that. Um,
Yeah,
one of the characters that I fell in love with was Abu. Uh,
yeah,
the father was he's such a great dad.
he is he is
I
so
mean, he
funny too.
dressed as Hulk to go with her to the Comic Con. That's like literally me going with you to New York Comic Con that we're going, and because I'm older, you're gonna and I'm sharing this with you, and I'm like, let me go and with just pants and paint myself green, and you tell me I don't want you to go with me because you're embarrassing me. I kind of felt that and like, oh my god, like I know he must have hurt. Like that was in the last episode, and I like just how it changed. Like from episode 4 to episode 6, they are embracing Kamala, and Kamala is embracing the whole how to be a hero because she don't know how to be a hero, and she just got her powers. So when a lot of people on the internet was saying, but she don't know how to use her powers yet. It's like, okay, so are you gonna learn your powers in one day? Like, let me give you powers and see if you're gonna learn them in one day. Like, you're not.
Yeah, yeah, like her she's still developing as a character, still developing as a hero. I think that we're hopefully we'll see more of that in season 2. I did like that they had got this guy from Into the Badlands. You know the guy from Into the Badlands, the kid from Into the
Yes,
Badlands.
I knew I recognized him. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
you walk into the
I
Badlands?
Yeah, and I'm so happy that he was shown in the show
I need him
as
to
the
come
Red
out again. I
Dagger.
need I need more of him. Because into the
Yeah, I need
Badlands, he
more of
was
the
such
Red
a badass
Dagger.
character.
Yeah, I need more of the Red Dagger. Like, dude was kicking ass, and that's him. That's him doing all those stunts
Hmm.
too. Like, I was listening to a podcast, and he was talking about how it was him doing those stunts, and I love that, and I love that about the show. I loved episode 6. I do like the all the action. I did I did what I was wondering, is Cameron the same as Kamala in terms of having the same powers? I know that, which brings me to another question. Do you think is Kamala a Jinn? Is she considered Jinn because her great grandmother is Jinn, right?
No, because
Because they were
remember, I think it was in episode 5 last week. The 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 mother of Cam of what his name is Cam, right?
Cameron, yeah.
Cameron. The mother of Cameron said, because remember, oh no, it wasn't, when they went back in time, was it last week? Yeah. So because they had a kid, it doesn't give him to be a jinn, because she's half, like it takes that away because of her being half and half. She's
I
not
don't get it.
pure.
You're saying
She's not pure. Like, okay, so she's not a
so
pure jinn.
so they're saying okay, yeah. So what is she saying, that because Kamala's grandmother wasn't pure Jinn, maybe it skipped a generation, and Kamala is her powers manifested with through her Jinn genes, you know.
Or mutant genes.
Tell me about that. Why are you mentioning this?
Okay, I'm mentioning this because right at the end, Bruno came to her and said, "Hey, remember when I was telling you about, the stuff that we were looking at, and compared to your other family, your genes looks like they're mutating, like they're a mutation." And behind, soon as he said mutation, you hear the theme song, and it stopped.
Yeah, you do.
Everybody knows what that is from X-Men.
Yeah,
So that's introducing the mutants. So because and originally Kamala is an inhuman, and the way she got her powers was through the cryo process that she went through when the mist came, and she became Miss
yeah.
Marvel because of her inhuman genes. Now they kind of changed it up, and it looks like everybody's saying that she's the first mutant of the MCU. I kind of disagree that she's the first mutant of the MCU, because we still don't know if Wanda is a mutant or not. They haven't really confirmed that yet. Because remember, her powers couldn't manifest when they were doing the experiments on her, and she manifested more powers. That's why she became more powerful. So she still could be a mutant. And what happened in Multiverse of Madness? Professor X came in. He's a mutant. I know he's not from the 616 universe. He's not from the MCU universe, but she's not the first mutant that was introduced. I do apologize, guys. She is the first mutant introduced in the MCU as the main mutant
616.
of the 616 universe, but not the first mutant. Because as soon as we see Professor X come out in Multiple Madness, we went nuts
He's
and we
yeah.
said and we said there's mutants. The first thing that everybody says like, yes, we got mutants in the MCU.
Yeah. I don't I also agree. I don't think that Kamala is a mutant just because of the whole Jin of the whole Jin being like part Jin too, because Jinns are a whole different type of being. They're not even human.
Yeah, they're magical.
They're beings. They're just
Yeah,
magical beings of whatever they come from Jin, And Kamala's part of that, and I can see that her genes could be mutated because of her powers. Maybe that counts her being a mutant. I don't think so though, because when we think about mutants, they are the genes. They're human
their
beings with
X genes.
that are
Their
their
X
X
genes
genes, yeah,
manifest. Well, actually,
and they have powers.
oh
So
crap! So just thinking about it now, usually when a mutant get their powers, they usually get their powers when they're teenagers, and something happens to them, like either a tragic thing. It happened to Wolverine. I mean, it happened to Logan. It happened to Jean Grey, as we saw.
her powers manifested in the show. In the show, it just happened. You know, it
Hmm.
didn't happen with the Mist from the comic
Yeah, it
book
didn't happen
as
to
her
the So
being a
she's
human.
not. So she's definitely not inhuman. But then, soon as he mentioned mutation, and we had the we kind of knew that hinted
I know.
into
I
mutants.
don't know how I don't know how I feel about it. Like it would be cool because man, that would be super cool to have mutants. I I guess I just have to let go. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna let go. What Marvel is Studios is doing is gonna sometimes go away from the comic books. So if this is how we're gonna get mutants introduced to the MCU, I'm for it. I can't wait to see more. I know you wanted to mention something, maybe about some kind of like possible storyline that they can go with this, right?
Oh, they could.
Since they teased mutants, you were talking about a possible storyline.
I think. I mean, man, I have. This will be another podcast, bro.
Are you talking about the Krakoa, right? You were just gonna
Oh,
mention.
oh yeah, yeah. Now
That's
that
why
you
I'm talking
mentioned,
about the storyline.
well,
Like,
the whole thing, like, so there has been no mutants shown in the MCU at all since Phase One. We never seen no mutants, and we all know that the recent X-Men storyline in the comics, a lot of the mutants moved over to the island of Krakoa. That is pretty much a mutant island that all the mutants decided to go there and live in peace. So could that lead into maybe in the MCU that island does exist and that's where all the mutants are and that's what we haven't seen the mutants and they're gonna come out because they're gonna need help to fight whatever big bad is coming next? Because we don't know.
or
It could
yeah,
be
or
Doctor
maybe they,
Doom
or
to it could
maybe
be
yeah,
Kang to it could be Galactus. Like we don't know what the next bad
yeah,
guy is gonna be or the next villain is gonna be. So could it be that Krakoa Island exists in the MCU and we don't even know about it because that's where all the mutants are.
yeah. I think that could be a possibility. Um, I don't know how would they introduce it. It would be cool though. It would probably explain why there aren't any mutants that we've seen in the 616 MCU universe. Hopefully they'll explore more. Maybe someone who might know that there are mutants in the 616 universe, I think would be Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is pretty much everywhere at anywhere helping whoever. And at the end of Miss Marvel, what we see Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, show up, appearing at the end. It was like almost as if Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel traded places or something like that. Like you
Yeah,
just
it
see
looks
Miss
like she,
Marvel
yeah, she
disappear.
disappeared, and then Captain Marvel came out. Um, Damn, bro, you making some good points there. You hitting hard. Um, we don't know because our next mutant that is coming out, and I don't know if everybody knows, even though he's an Atlantean, he's also a mutant. Is Namor, and Namor is coming out in Wakanda Forever. So if there is an island full of mutants, I think the best person that's gonna know
He
about
could.
that would
He
be
would also
Namor.
know. He would. He would know too.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, that island over there came out of nowhere. A whole bunch of people
Yeah.
swim over there real quick.
A lot
But
of things to look. A lot of things to look forward to with
mhm,
the what could happen with mutants in the MCU. You know, it being teasing Miss Marvel. Now with Captain Marvel showing up up at the end, that also opens up some questions too. Like, is this going to lead to the Marvels movie? You
yes,
know,
yes, because
and
did you see right after it says Ms. Marvel coming back at Ms. Marvel's coming soon to the Marvels, or they
yeah,
kind of like emphasize that at the end.
a lot of people are saying are asking, did Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel trade places, or did Miss Marvel turn into Captain Marvel? That's being asked. Like, do you think that they traded places, or do you think that they transformed into each other?
No, I think they traded places because the way it looked when she did, she kind of like
Yeah,
disappeared, like she was sucked into
into a like,
in a hole or something, like
yes, yes. It looked like she was sucked into something.
you know. So it kind of like pushed her into the closet, and that's when. So at that point, when she was getting sucked in, pretty much,
Captain Marvel came.
Captain
That's
Marvel
where
came
Captain
out,
Marvel came in.
and I
Yeah,
think that they got replaced, and Captain Marvel's gonna be like, "What the hell just happened?" And because we don't even know if we don't even know if Captain Marvel ever disappeared with the snap. We don't know because she was out of planet. Could she
she
have
no,
been? Could she
no,
have been
no,
one of the
no.
persons that
She never disappeared. She was after the snap. She was always around. Think about it, because in Infinity War, she was one of the people that can. Yeah.
That's
So
right. That's right. That's right.
I
That's
I
right. That's
do
right.
I do think though that this is really interesting with Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel going into the Marvel's movie. I don't know what to expect. What is the connection here? I have no idea what the connection could be between Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, especially for the MCU.
Cliffhanger like a
Um,
motherfucker.
we'll see. It's a big cliffhanger, but yeah, yeah. Let's talk about something else besides Marvel. Let's just turn the wheel and let's go into the direction of the Boys season finale.
Oh, the
To
voice is
me, to me, to me, The Boys has been the number one show that's streaming right now. If you're not watching The Boys right now, you're missing out on the number one streaming show that's on every streaming platform. I'm talking about every streaming platform. The Boys is a great show. I don't know if it got nominated for Emmys, but I think it should. It's a great show. Let's talk about The Boys season finale, man.
man. Like you said, number one show because it gave us a more realistic view of what would happen if people get superpowers. You know what I mean? And plus the influence of the social media introduced of how famous can this superhero be if there's social media. So if you're Homelander and you got 1.5 million views and I only have 9,000, you're more famous than I. No matter how much people I saved, you're still more
I'll have more
famous.
influence. I'll have more
You
influence.
have more influence, and it's such a direct thing towards now.
Yeah,
And
towards influencers and social media and just media in general. And it's a great. This show, Amazon Prime, uh, did a great portrayal of like what if heroes were in the real world. And I think that this is, man, this show goes everywhere. Left, it goes left, right, up, down, middle. You don't know where to expect, but you don't know where to expect. Like for like this last episode, I did not expect Black Noir to die.
And not just that, the way he died. Like,
Yeah, sad.
oh my god, bro. Like, I know we didn't see too much of Black Noir through all the seasons. Like, we didn't really see him, be a super because it's more about Homelander and Butcher, pretty much, and Huey. I
But
would say.
Black Noir's been there since the beginning, man.
Yes, but
And
like I'm saying, like
I
we
did
haven't
I
seen
did
too
I
much
did
action with Black Noir
yeah, I
as
did. That's what I would say about Black Noir and in the show. I wish that they showed him a little more because there's something mysterious about Black Noir that's, I feel like that there's still more to explore. And that's why his death in the show is like, damn, man, I hope this character is not dead.
yeah.
He's dead, I think. Like this guy's head, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
Like this guy got
bro, his
got his freaking hand
his
through his body.
his guts were just
His guts were everywhere.
flapping everywhere.
I,
Okay, he
but,
dead.
but maybe he's not. There have been rumors saying that he might come back. At least the actor that played Black Noir, they're saying that he might come back to be another kind of hero or something else. Or it could be Black Noir, the actual Black Noir, coming back as something else. We don't
Well,
know.
I also heard the rumor, but the one that I heard was that Black Noir is gonna come back, but somebody else took the mantle. So there's somebody else in the suit of Black Noir, and everybody's gonna be surprised as who it is that is under Black Noir's costume. So it'll be kind of funny if he takes it off and he's Huey.
Bro, that would be that would be funny. Huey is one of my favorite characters in the show because he's just so funny. I just learned I think today that he's Dennis Quaid's son, the
Yeah, you
actor.
didn't know that? He
No,
looks like
I
his
didn't know.
father, bro.
He does look
Like
like his dad.
now that you know that his son, if you look at it, you'll be like, oh yeah, he does look like Dennis Quaid. But yeah,
Yeah,
he's Dennis
yeah,
Quaid's son.
but Huey's character development in the show has been great. He's come to realize that he doesn't need to be powerful to save people, because I think for a while he thought that he needed to be powerful to save people, and he was even willing to even kill himself to do it. But
Yes.
now we see at the end of this season him and Starlight really connecting in a more better way for their relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Starlight's
One.
like, hey, hey Huey, you don't need to save me. I'm good.
Yeah. And in that way, I kind of understand him too, as him saying like, I just want to be there. Like I'm tired of you saving my as a guy, and I know this is very bad to say right now, but as a man, you kind of think that way. Like I don't need her to save me. I want to be the one saving her, and that was pretty much was what was going on through his mind. Like
Whole
I'm tired.
chivalry thing. It's the whole
Yeah, it's a
chivalry
whole
thing.
chivalry
Yeah.
thing, and I think, like you said, he has become my favorite character for the reason as his character development has been one of the best character development because I remember him in season one. He was such a scary cat. He was such a pushover, and you see him through all the seasons. Like season two, he became a little bit more thing.
Hmm.
Season three, he was a little bit more and then
Confident.
at
Hmm.
the end of this season, you see him like I don't need this. I'm still a man. I still could do what I gotta do. I still got to save
I'm just
people.
he, I'm just gonna be Huey.
I'm just gonna
Huey
be
is,
Huey.
and I think that in this next season, season four, we're gonna see Huey like we haven't seen him before, being full on
Black
Huey, which
Noir.
which imagine that'll be crazy. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see more Huey in season four. Billy Butcher,
Oh my god.
crazy motherfucker in the show. I love Billy Butcher. But this whole season, we see the theme of him like dealing with the mistakes of his past, with his brother, and also with how he dealt with his wife's son and just saying, "Hey, I don't fuck with you anymore because you killed my wife accidentally." And so now we see the effects of his mistakes in the past, and I think at this point Billy is just saying, "Fuck it. I am just gonna zone in on one thing and one thing only, and that's killing Homelander, and I don't care about anything else."
And that's pretty much like you said, man. His whole story. I mean, he hasn't really changed that much from season one as trying to kill Homelander. Like that has not changed for Butcher at all. Like since season one, he's been just a psycho. But I also think that he kind of learned. He kind of turned into a Homelander at one point because when he
They're
became
alike almost.
powerful. Yeah, when he had superpowers, what did he do? He went ahead and that even Mother's Milk was like, so you the one that killed what was his name batteries.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Um, so he like when he got superpowers, he went and just he went nuts. He was killing people with his powers. He kind of turned into a Homelander, and not him wanting to. Like I mean, at least that's the way I see it. And by the end of the episode, he kind of learned like you know he's gonna die in 18 months. You know
I think at this point, Butcher is like, "Man, I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to kill Homelander," and he doesn't give a fuck. One of the best things I saw about this whole season was the fight scenes. I loved every single fight scene in all of throughout the whole season,
yes,
but
sir.
definitely I love that they ended it with the best fight scene that we saw ever. It was Homelander versus Soldier Boy versus everybody else, like everybody else, like versus Kimiko, fucking Maeve, Starlight, Butcher, Mother's Milk even got into it. It was crazy seeing that fight. It was
Yes,
crazy.
it was that was like you said, it was one of the best fights, and I love every minute of it. Especially Starlight like exceeding her powers. Like she exceeded
Yeah,
her powers to the max. She was like,
and was damaging. She was damaging Homelander at one point, like really laying some haymakers on this dude.
and one of the best fights, what I will have to say, was Maeve versus Homelander. She was she. I kind of felt like there was one part that kind of reminded me of Iron Man versus Thanos when Maeve punched Homelander in the face and he went like this and he's like bitch, you made me bleed. Like nobody ever made him
Yeah,
bleed.
yeah, he couldn't believe it. Like May was like out here whooping ass. Damn, I feel bad for her eye. It was crazy, but seeing Maeve save the day at the end, what an amazing sacrifice, man! Just tackling
She
Soldier
lost her
Boy.
powers
Yeah, yeah.
and lost an eye.
Unfortunately, and lost an eye.
Eye
But
for
man,
an eye.
but Jensen Eccles' performance again. We said it in the last podcast, but what an amazing performance. We don't know if Soldier Boy will return because of what happened at the end. We see him getting carted off into like this kind of like incubation thing. So
Yeah,
maybe we'll see more Soldier Boy. But yeah, one thing about the show, I think I agree with some of the folks that are saying this is that there hasn't really been a transition in terms of what, like in terms of there hasn't really been like a next chapter kind of thing feel because there hasn't really been any major deaths in the show. We have Black Noir. you know, unfortunately he's gone, but we don't know if he's gone. Like, but definitely with the show, we're seeing that character. It's really hard for these characters to die, and we haven't seen any really die yet.
Actually, I actually like that about the boys because not only that, it's more grounded as in a way like nobody has really died, but at the same time, look how captivated we got. Nobody has died, no major character except for Black Noir. That rest in peace, my friend. But look how invested we are into a show that hasn't really had
Any major deaths? Yeah.
any major deaths or any major fights. Like the best two fights were when uh Huey Butcher and Soldier Boy was against Homelander in Hero Gasm. And the
And then
next
this
big
fight
fight, we haven't really seen big fights in
like
any
that,
of the
no,
seasons. You
no,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Not any superhero fights. Like we have so many other superhero shows that always get into fights. What I like about the show is that they take it a more grounded view of this genre of the superheroes as you have these humans that want to get rid of this superhuman powers, and the superhumans can't even get rid of these humans because these humans are powerful just by being them. Like the contradiction of the whole thing is like everybody's always saying superhumans could kill humans, and you've seen it. Like almost, for instance, at the end when the guy threw the cup, the cup at Homelander's son, and he was like, "Motherfucker!" Boom, popped his head
That
in front of
that
everybody.
that was pretty crazy to see. Like, and that's the point now. I think we reached the point where like pretend like Homelander is just a spilling cup, right? And I think at this point, this cup is fully spilled now. This guy just killed somebody in front of everyone, and the people were cheering for it. And he was smiling. And his what's even scarier is Homelander's son was also smiling too. So we're gonna probably get a
Not
Homelander
even
Junior.
that. Not even that. The guy that started applauding for Homelander was the stepfather of Mother's Milk's daughter.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Dude, you just got punched for taking a daughter to a Homelander rally, and now you're gonna be cheering for the guy that just popped somebody's head for throwing a cup. A cup. And that dude was like,
I know that sucks. That sucks. This show has been great this season. I can't wait until season 5. But yeah, season 4 has been great. I think we should move on to the next thing, man. Let's go and let's talk about the big movie that just came out this past week. Thor:
no,
Love and Thunder,
Thor, Love, and
directed by
Thunder.
directed by Taika Waititi.
My favorite director
And
so far.
yeah, let's talk about our favorite moments from this movie. It was such a good movie.
Favorite moments. Man, really? Um
What was your favorite thing about the movie, man? What was your favorite? What did you like about the movie? That's what I'll ask.
I could be honest, a lot of people are saying that they don't really like the movie. I don't know how you feel. I love the movie. I love the direction that the movie went. I know that everybody's like not taking Thor seriously in the comic world because Thor is more of a serious kind of person in the comic books to how Taika has put him in. But I think it fits perfect into the MCU because he's the outsource superhero. Like out, how you say, you could put him apart because just
He's
the
the
way that he
outlier.
is.
He's a god. He is connected to the cosmic universe in a way that no other superhero is, and so like he gets exposed to so much. And what it would, I just don't think that you're right. It wouldn't make sense for like to have a serious Thor exploring the universe. That would be
Yeah,
boring. That
that
would
would
be
be
boring.
that would be
Seeing,
boring. So seeing this
yeah,
Thor is, I loved it. I love I love how they introduced the Guardians of the Galaxy. In the beginning of the movie.
Which I thought that I didn't think they had them in the movie for a long time. I'm not mad at it, but they really didn't have the Guardians in the Galaxy in the movie
Yeah,
as much as
because
I thought they would.
yeah, because now they're going into their own. I love how they were like, "Hey, well, we have to go," and then as soon as it's like, "Okay, bye," they were like, "Pew!" They like left him
They
behind.
just dipped.
Um, favorite characters, favorite moments were when the goats were introduced. I love the goats,
The screaming
the
goats.
screaming goats, and Korg just became one of my favorites. I love Korg
Yeah, Korg
because
is great. Korg is great. I loved it. I'll tell you about some of my favorite moments in
yeah,
the movie. I loved one of my favorite moments in the movie was was seeing Matt Damon and Thor's older, well, Chris Hemsworth's older brother. I think one of the
Luke,
brothers of
Luke.
Luke Hemsworth and Matt Damon playing, coming back and playing Loki and Thor again in the play version of them. I thought it was great at seeing them, and then we got to see them again in the movie later on when they were in the town hall with Valkyrie, and they went up to Valkyrie and they're like, "Oh, we have this idea with Thor and Loki," and then she's like, "I don't care, do whatever you want," and then they go, "Oh, she didn't say no."
And not only Matt Damon and Luke Hemsworth, Melissa McCarthy as Hela.
That was so funny too. See, that was hilarious.
That yeah, I do have to say that was like
Those cameos were good. I love
those
those
cameos were
cameos.
awesome. What else? What else did? What else other moment?
One thing I thought was pretty funny was seeing the Infinity Gauntlet ice cream shop.
Infinity
Also, like how,
cones.
yeah, Infinity Cones. Also, how are you gonna have a shop after the one weapon in the whole universe that can destroy the whole universe?
I wonder if the cones
Oh
are the
man,
cones shaped like the Infinity Glove, and then you put
it's I don't
the ice
know,
cream in.
but I don't know, but I thought that was funny. I thought that Christian Bale's performance was great as Gore. It was cool seeing him being serious, but then also seeing him being a little funny, like the scene when he was with the kids in the cage. Remember, he was with the kids in the cage, which was I thought was pretty funny. There was a lot of funny this whole movie, man. There was a lot of funny moments. I loved Thor talking to his weapons, like talking to Merlin, and then also talking to
Mjolnir, Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, talking to Mjolnir, and then also talking to Stormbreaker, and like trying to like Stormbreaker, don't you don't need to be jealous. Nothing's going on.
I think one of the best moments is true is has to be the whole thing with Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. Like that one part that he's standing with Korg and he's looking at Jane and he's like trying to tell Mjolnir to like come here, boy, come to me, right? And then you see Stormbreaker come to the side and he's like, hey man, how you
Yeah.
doing?
I Chris Hemsworth, man, is so freaking funny. I think that he said that he wants to play Thor as long as he could,
He
and that
wants to be
as
huge.
long
He wants to be huge.
the Hugh Jackman of
Hugh
Thor,
Jackman. He
basically.
was like, I want to go
And
over 17
but
years.
I think he said like in terms of certain conditions, like you said, I think he only wants to play Thor only if he could be this kind of Thor. He doesn't want to play the serious Thor. Um, Taika Waititi, I think this was a good like second version of Ragnarok. I thought it was like almost the same formula. I would say some things that I didn't like about the movie were the deleted scenes that we're not going to be able to see. You know, there's been a lot of cuts. That's one thing I didn't like. I thought that they should have included Jeff Goldblum and Peter Dinklage into the movie because those characters, um, I thought that they made a were made a lot of not that made a lot of sense, but I think that they played a big role in the in the Thor story in general, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you know, like for example, I didn't like that Gore got got the the necrosword, and then he automatically knew what he was supposed to do with the necrosword and how to kill all the gods already. You know, like if that were true, then he would have probably met with the guy that created Stormbreaker, the character that Dinklage plays. He would have met with him because he probably knows about all these cosmic weapons.
Yeah, he made the Infinity
So
Gauntlet. He
yeah,
made Mjolnir.
near yeah,
So he made
Stormbreaker.
yeah he made those and I that I will have to say the lack of that part in the story I understand because like the him getting the sword I kind of understood because the
No,
sword
I get
spoke
him getting this.
sword kind of spoke to him, but I understand about how did he know that Stormbreaker would lead him into the infinity, the eternity. I'm sorry, eternity.
Into eternity. Yeah,
Like they skipped that part. Like, how did you find out that Stormbreaker could do this, and that's why you wanted Thor? Like, because once you got to New Asgard, you knew exactly who you were going for. He was waiting for Thor to arrive, and he's like,
exactly.
"That's the weapon that I wanted." So that means that he did meet him and killed him. We never got to see it.
I'm pretty sure that that might be a deleted scene. Maybe I hear that that the director's cut of the movie is like 4 hours long. So you know, there. I think there's a lot of like gaps in the movie. I think, but I do think that a lot of the comedy and a lot of the good feelings in the movie made up for that lack of like some of the storytelling a little bit. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so and but I did like how it introduced like this whole realm of the gods, and maybe we're gonna get a god war or something.
Well, if you
um
did you wait to the end?
I did wait until the end. Russell Crowe was hilarious, but Russell Crowe and Zeus being Zeus at the end and introducing Hercules.
That's
So
what I'm waiting for.
we might get Thor versus Hercules, man.
Oh, that I can't wait. One of the best things that I like about the whole movie was that, and Taika said it, like all the kids that were in there were the kids of a lot of people that were on set. Like Taika's kids were there, Chris Hemsworth kids were like Chris Hemsworth boy was the boy that was running that turned into Thor.
Yeah. I also think that his daughter played Love in the
Yes,
movie.
his daughter. So that means that his daughter's gonna get bigger parts in the future in any future Thor movie. Because you have to bring her back now,
Yeah.
unless they're gonna put like an older version. But maybe by that time his daughter's gonna be older and could complete
Yeah.
the
I love the whole feel good like vibes of the movie. That's why I love the movie. I thought it was a great movie to watch. Very funny. Jane, I love Jane in the movie becoming Thor, the mighty Thor, kicking ass. Jane was looking great as Thor, like really big muscles. I loved it. I would just say that I wish we saw more of the mighty Thor and
yes,
more than just her being the mighty Thor in one movie, and then that's it. There's no
yeah,
more mighty Thor than her becoming Valkyrie at the end. So that's the only thing I would say. I wish that we had more Jane being the mighty Thor.
yeah. I think it
No.
was great bringing in Jane, and I love how they kept it true to the comics as she was diagnosed with cancer and how the Mjolnir will keep her strong as long as she's stored, but as soon as she gets out, she will like her
Becomes
cancer was.
weaker. Yeah,
Yeah, so I kind of love that they kind of introduced that part because a lot of people were wondering, are they gonna go ahead and do the cancer storyline for Jane? And I like how
they
they,
did a little bit. They did a little bit, but I don't think it was fully explored. Like the whole Jane becoming mighty Thor. It
yeah,
was like
one of the
it
deleted
was like
scenes was her becoming Mighty Thor. When the hammer when she first became Mighty Thor, there's another scenes that Tessa Thompson's saying that they cut that was her, Valkyrie and Mighty Thor becoming sisters, because before Thor got there, she was already Mighty Thor for a while.
Yeah, she was already Mighty Thor for a while. Yeah, which like I said, like I was mentioning, I think there were some gaps in the story that just I wish we would have seen more. But I thought it was a great performance by everyone, by Chris Hemsworth, Tessa, Christian Bale, and Natalie Portman. They all did great. This is also going into something into Phase Four again with the mystical theme of Phase Four. There's like a mystical theme about it, a mythical theme about it, and we're gonna see more of the realm of the gods. We're gonna see more.
Ooh, I
It's
can't
probably
wait
this
for
is
that
probably gonna be
fight.
like yeah, it's probably gonna be like a whole god war. I'm thinking maybe it'll go into like War of the Realms. I don't know if you read those comics, which is
No, I
pretty
haven't read those
interesting.
comics.
But maybe it'll get into that. But either way, we're gonna see some god versus gods action in Thor 5.
Oof, who you think gonna win, Hercules or Thor? Come
Man,
on, it's
I
Thor's
don't know.
movie, bro. You know Thor is gonna
I gotta go
win.
with Thor. I gotta go with Thor. I'm gonna hope that Hercules becomes good by the end of the movie, but
Yes, because I know
we'll
in the
see.
comics they're like almost best friends, and at one point or another, I would like to see that change. But before that, they better give us like a hell of a fight between Thor and Hercules. Like I
Yeah,
want to see a god fight. Like I want to see some Dragon Ball mountain breaking, Thor cracking, picking up a freaking tree and shooting it at Hercules, and Hercules
yeah.
popping it. Like, give me some anime. I'm talking about some anime fight.
You want? No, yeah. I can't wait until to see more of this, and especially if we're gonna see if that means seeing Russell Crowe as Zeus. I'm in for it
I'm in
because that was
for it.
super funny.
I'm in for it.
Um,
I'm in
but
for it.
but I think that's it for us. I think the last thing that we wanted to mention, I think you wanted to mention something about San Diego Comic Con.
Yes, San Diego Comic Con is in a week. So, guys, hopefully, if we get whatever news we get during the week, heading into San Diego Comic Con. Make sure you guys go to our socials because we're gonna keep you updated. And hopefully by our next, if it's not our next episode, it's gonna be the next after that. Because I heard we might be getting the Quantum Mania trailer and Wakanda Forever trailer. And I'm very excited for the Wakanda Forever trailer because I
Oh,
definitely want
that's
to
good.
see. Yes. So,
Most anticipated movie for me. Yeah.
and what if season two supposed to also they're gonna show some clips and stuff, because San Diego Comic Con is gonna be, besides that, and D23 is coming out in September, we're gonna get a lot of Marvel news. So guys, stay attention to our socials and our podcast because we are coming for you with brand new news. And before we get out of here, we all we both want to say thank you guys for always coming and listening to the Comic Guys podcast with your hosts Angel and Kevin. Guys, we just want to say thank you so much for always sticking by us, helping us grow, becoming geekers like us, and joining our community. Follow our socials: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Like Kevin said in the beginning, you want to see our beautiful faces, go to our YouTube and go to our Spotify and Apple Podcast. Listen to the podcast. Help us grow so we could keep coming back for you guys. We really do appreciate you guys coming. For all those guys that listen to us, you don't know how much it means to us. You guys listen because it when we see that, we know, hey, let's do another episode. And we keep coming back because you guys hearing us. And it's just a pleasure. It's just a pleasure. Thank you guys. Thank you geekers. And like always, you guys have a great night, a good day. Peace out.
Peace out.